Hello dear students. As schools are shut down, offices are closed, markets are shut down. Even in this lockdown, life is on, isn't it? As we are in lockdown, we are with our family members. We are enjoying with them. I hope you must be enjoying the favorite movies, or you must be in your online classes or YouTube videos, right? Same with me here. I also enjoyed a wonderful song here. Would you like to listen it? For 2 minutes. Yes, students, welcome back. Did you enjoy the song? Yes, even I too enjoyed it. The best thing I liked in this song is the strong faith of the singer in God. Faith can move the mountains. Faith is nothing but a strong belief. Yes, I am here with you to discuss the interesting story of a farmer who has a deep faith in God. That is from First Flight textbook, lesson number 1, that is a letter to God. Understanding about the writer, that is G.L. Flutes, a Mexican writer who was a novelist, poet and journalist. So, his stories were seen as exciting, humorous and symbolic of Mexico. Dear students, the wonderful thing of this story is an extreme belief in God can give you a ray of hope even in the darkest times. So darkest times means the worst times, toughest times. So here also the Lencho, who is a farmer in the story, is in the difficulties, is in the tough times, and how he conveys his message to God is the fact of the story. So let's understand the story by reading the textbook. So open your First Flight textbook, lesson number 1, a letter to God.
Well, students, it is rightly said that the best time for new beginnings is now. So let us begin the first lesson of First Flight textbook, that is letter to God. I hope you have opened the textbook. Let's start it. The house, the only one in the entire valley, sat on the crest of a low hill. From this height, one could see the river and the field of ripe corn dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. The only thing the earth needed was a downpour, or at least a shower. So here the lesson begins with the description of the farmer's house. The farmer's house was the only house in the entire valley, and it was located on the crest of a low hill. So crest means it is on the top of a low hill. So from that height one could see the river, the field of ripe corn that are dotted, means scattered with flowers, and that always promised a good harvest, so yields good. Now at this point the only thing needed was rain, that is downpour means rain, or at least a shower means a mild rain. So moving to the next paragraph. Throughout the morning, Lencho, who knew his fields intimately, had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. Now we are really going to get some water, woman. The woman who was preparing supper replied, yes, good willing. The older boys were working in the field, while the smaller ones were playing near the house until the woman called, to then all come for dinner. So what happened? Lencho, you know very well, he was a farmer, simple, hard-working farmer. So he was totally dependent on rain. So from morning onwards, he was looking at the sky that it would rain today. So as he knew his field intimately, means closely, he knew each nooks and corners of his field, and he was expecting it would rain. So he said his wife, women means wife, that it would bring rain. So as his wife was preparing supper, supper means a meal that we have at night. So she replied that if God wills, if God blesses, we will have a rain. So the children, the elder children, the older one were working in the field and smaller one were playing until their mother called them for dinner. So moving to the next paragraph. I hope students you are following with me with your textbook. Keep finger on the lines where I am reading through. Right. It was during the meal that, just as Lancho had predicted, big drops of rain began to fall. In the northeast, huge mountain of clouds could be seen approaching. The air was fresh and white, sweet. The man went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. And when he returned, he exclaimed, "These aren't raindrops falling from the sky. They are new coins." As you can see that Lencho was looking for rain. He was foreseeing for rain. Up to his expectation, rain started. Big drops of rain started to fall. So, as well as he can see the huge mountain of clouds approaching him from the northeast direction. As there was a small rain, Lencho could smell the sweet mud smell as well as he was feeling fresh. So nothing else to feel the pleasure of rain, he went out of his house and he felt the rain. As he returned, he exclaimed that exclaimed means he started to shout with joy that these aren't raindrops falling from the sky, they are new coins. So he considered the raindrops falling from the sky to the new coins. Why is it so? Why did he consider it? Dear students, any guesses? Right. It's because if the rain falls on his field, whereby he could get a good harvest, good yield, with it he will get a good income, that is new coins. Right? Is it clear? Moving to the next paragraph. The big drops are 10-cent pieces and the little ones are 5s. With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flowers, draped in a curtain of rain. But suddenly a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain, very large hailstones began to fall. These truly did resemble new silver coins. So Lencho considered, he started to compare the big drops to the 10-cent pieces, that is currencies, pesos, and little one for 5s. So Lencho was so satisfied, so happy with the rain, and he was expecting a good income. So his field was totally trapped. Trapped means it was covered in a curtain of rain. But suddenly a strong wind began to blow. There was a change in the pattern of rain. Strong wind began to blow. Along with that, there was another change, that a large hailstones began to fall. Hailstones means it means large ice petals. And again he started to consider those ice petals to a new silver coins. Those are frozen, which look like a silver coins. Moving to the next paragraph, dear students, the boys, exposing themselves to the rain, ran out to collect the frozen pearls. "It's really getting bad now," exclaimed the man. I hope it passes quickly. I did not. It did not pass quickly. For an hour, the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, on the whole valley. So, as it was a rain of hailstorms, the boys were enjoying, they were collecting the frozen pearls. Slowly, it started to change its pattern. It was getting bad. It was getting worse. But Lencho hoped that it will pass quickly, but it wasn't. For an hour, it rained of hailstorms on entire valley. The house, on the garden, the hillside, the cornfield totally was covered with hailstones. Moving to the next paragraph, the field was white as if covered with sand. Not a leaf remained on the trees. The corn was totally destroyed. The flowers were gone from the field. Lencho's soul was filled with sadness. When the storm had passed, he stood in the middle of the field and said to his sons, "A plague of locusts would have left more than this." So, after the storm stopped, he went into the field. He saw that entirely it was covered with the hailstone, which were looking like it is covered with the salt. And the trees were destroyed, the corns were totally destroyed. Not a leaf was there on the plants. So he was broken. Lencho was totally broken. He was filled with sadness. When the storm passed away, he stood in the middle of the field and he told his children that a plague of locusts, that is a group of locust insect. That locust means it is an insect which fly in a big swarm, just as a grasshopper which destroys the crop. If there was an attack of this locust insect, that would have left more than this, but these hailstorms have totally devastated the field. Yes, students, look at the next paragraph. The hail had left nothing. This year we will have no corn. That night was a sorrowful one. All our work for nothing. There's no one who can help us. We will all go hungry this year. But in the heart of all who lived in that solitary house in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope: help from God. So here, totally he was broken and he's expressing his sorrow to his wife, that he's telling, we have left with nothing. Our hard work, what we have put into, is totally went into vain, and we will go hungry this year, he is telling. And this is not a condition of him, that who lived in that solitary. So solitary means lonely house. So it was a condition of him in that area. So the single hope, the ray of hope remained in him, that was help from God. Yes, students, I hope you are following. Keep your finger on the page and connect with me. Don't be so upset. Even though this seems like a total loss, remember, no one dies of hunger. That's what they say. No one dies of hunger. All through the night, Lencho thought only of his one hope, the help of God, whose eyes, as he had been instructed, see everything, even what is deep in one's conscience. So he is here, his wife is consoling Lencho. So she's telling that don't be upset, and she is giving him confidence that no one will die of hunger. And throughout the night, Lencho thought of this, and he ultimately came to the conclusion that the only person who will help in this worst situation was God. So he says that whose eyes he had been instructed, see everything. So he's telling that God can see everything. So even what is there in the deep one's conscience. Means in his inner sense would say that what is right and what is wrong, and God will hold his hand. Definitely he had an immense faith in God. So with this, let's move, let's understand about the further lesson in the next class. So students, this is a smart study for the day. Read the lesson A Letter to God and write the new words with meanings from the textbook. So thank you. Stay safe and stay connected to learning.